Hey guys, welcome to Snippets and Scandals from the Synod on Synodality. We're going to take a couple of quotes from people as we get ready for the Synod. A lot more might unfold in the coming days, and just get your reactions to them. So Bishop George Batzing, who is Bishop of Limburg, Germany, and Bishops' Conference president, he says we need to take seriously decentralization, cultural diversity, social context of being church, strengthen powers for Bishops' Conference, etc. I very much hope that in listening, it will become clear that already now our church is more diverse than we realize from our respective perspectives. And then he says...
Perspectives?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The decisive question for me remains that whether we, through this further development of synodality, will find more confidence and new hermeneutics of understanding of unity in the Catholic Church as a whole. So what do y'all think about this?
I just want to say that it took me until, I think, like halfway through seminary to understand what hermeneutics meant.
See, is this not just like the being self-referential that Pope Francis warned us about? To me, like the language, as much as like the Synod is about listening to other people, it seems more and more that the modes, or Bishop Batzing here, Bazinga, Bishop Bazinga, his words seem to just lead us into this self-referential kind of thing of insider talk.
It does. I mean, he starts off with talking about we'll recognize our diversity. Who doesn't recognize the diversity of the Catholic Church? I mean, I think we've got 22 rites. I mean, 22 different ways that the Mass is celebrated in the Catholic Church. I mean, I think we recognize the diversity.
How many languages is the Mass being said right now?
Exactly.
All right, I got another one for you guys. Clara Cisar, who's a Romanian, Hungarian, Austrian professor of physics. I want to give a shout out to the Pillar who provided these quotes for us here.
Awesome.
Pillar guys. Yeah. He says, she says, we will not ordain women deacons in November.
I agree.
I'm
pretty sure I heard Gabriel's trumpet.
I think that's pretty safe.
Cardinal Blaise Cupich, one of the cardinals of the United States, says, we unfortunately have witnessed recent statements by some taking issue with the Holy Father's decision to call Synod on Synodality. That to me is interesting because I feel like I don't think anyone was against the Holy Father's decision to call the Synod.
There were people. Things that are being mentioned about the Synod.
There's people also
causing the problems. I don't think anyone cares about. I mean, we've had synods. I mean, we've had synods for,
So he says, among the mistaken assertions which are stoking fears that the gathering in Rome this October will radically alter church teaching and practice, align both with secular ideas and result in schism. A lot of people have, but he says, history has shown that the use of fear tactics by those who resist any kind of renewal that involves change is not new. That to me seems a very double-speak kind of way of responding to that.
Yeah, it makes you sound like you shouldn't be fearful of this, but
change. But hold on, but he threw in doctrinal issues, fear of change.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I think the common person is going to hear there.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Doctrinal issues, fears of change. Like I'm pretty sure Pope Francis already addressed directly. We're not looking at doctrinal issues.
That's right.
So
which only feeds into the argument that people who are making that people are trying to make a slow push and changing doctrine.
Cardinal Fernandez, or he was Cardinal-elect. Now he's Cardinal Fernandez, who is the head of the CDF. Cardinal Tuccio. He says Pope Francis does not believe that important changes and conflictive issues should be expected from this Synod, since the time available would not be enough to study any of them in depth. It is rather a moment of reflection where the Church asks herself again who she is, what she is for, what God expects from her in this historical moment. Cardinal Fernandez seems to be one of the
that makes me feel very good.
So is anyone listening to him?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to. He's basically in charge.
Yeah, he's in charge now. But that's the quote that I'm like, yes, that's my sentiment.
That seems. Now here's the thing. So Cardinal Robert McElroy in America Magazine, who's
San Diego,
Archbishop of San Diego in the United States, he says the question of the ordination of women to the priesthood will be one of the most difficult questions confronting the international synods in 2023 and 2024. The call for the admission of women to priestly orders as an act of justice and a service to the church was voiced in virtually every region of our world church. At the same time, many women and men who participated in the synod favored reserving the priesthood for men in keeping with the action of Christ and the history of the church.
Wow.
Not to mention the magisterium.
Magisterial
teaching in John Paul.
To make this as if reserving ordination to men alone had to do with what's popular in the church. That to me is begging a question that is very dangerous. And maybe this is the Cardinal's own words here, and he expounds on that in that America Magazine article, and anybody can read that. But to me, that would say that our teaching of reserving the priesthood to men alone is rooted in Jesus Christ and who he called to the priesthood.
So John Paul said.
And the church. So
regardless of any of this crap, there's some stronger words. Regardless of any of this crap, the priesthood is a gift. It's not a right, and therefore it's not a matter of justice.
It's not about exactly.
So that's I would encourage people of this train to go back to their actual dogmatic theology and understand that the priesthood is a gift, which is given to the undeserving. No one is deserving of it, and not depending on your gender or not. It is a gift. You cannot be owed a gift, and therefore an owed is only in the terms of rights. The priesthood is not a right, and therefore this is not a matter of justice. It's a question of prudence as well as obedience to Jesus.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And we don't have the authority to change the things that Jesus himself set up because he is the highest authority.
All right, I'm going to let Cardinal Mueller, former head of the CDF, have the. No, he's I like Cardinal Mueller.
Yeah,
so I'll let him have the last word here
say.
for us. Pray for those involved in the synod. I have hope for the church. I'm not, crying wolf. I'm not like, oh, the sky is falling. But he says, Cardinal Mueller says, I pray that all this will be a blessing and not a detriment to the church. I'm also committed to theological clarity so that the church gathered around Christ does not become a political dance around the golden calf of the agnostic spirit of the age.
Wow.
So we're going to pray for that as well.
That was Mueller?
That this does not become a political dance around the golden calf of the agnostic spirit of the age. I think, I think we'd all hope
that dude was running the CDF, man. It's golden years.
All right. Well, you also pray for the church, pray for the synod, and let's get your thoughts below. Whatever the original intent for social media was, it probably wasn't this.
Well, I'm sure you've seen this viral video.
M to the B.
Gaming Week Day 3. This egg is the most liked Instagram picture.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right?
Okay, so tell me all about this.
Yikes. See what I mean? However, at St. Dominic Media, we found a much better way to do social.
It is a joy, a pleasure to want to spend time with the Lord and with one another.
If you delight in the Lord, he would give you the desires of your heart. And so I prayed him to send me to the right church. And so he led me to the one that he established, which is the Catholic Church.
So I'm sitting in my quiet space, my time with God, praying for my grandchildren.
Understand that the devil isn't only the enemy of our souls, he's the enemy of our human nature. And so what God has joined, he wants to rupture.
Judeo-Christian values.
You corrected it. Judeo-Christian values. Your brain corrected it. Oh, that's fantastic. Every year, we produce hundreds of dynamic, faithful Catholic videos that reach millions of people, both online and on television. At St. Dominic Media, we're doing the heavy lifting of creating good, quality Catholic content, and we'd love for you to partner with us, either by visiting stdominicmedia.com and following the share link, or by using the offertory envelopes offered by your parish from OSV. Help us sow seeds far and wide as we use new media's potential for good. Together, let us invest in and grow the kingdom.